Hey family, it's Shay Seeking speaking. And yeah, so I just wanted to I just wanted to come on here and just talk a little bit about, you know, things that are going on in the world today, the other parts of spiritual warfare, amongst the people, in general. So, and like the journey, I guess, that I've been on so far. So again, a couple of months ago, I started going through changes, some of the stuff that I showed you guys on here, about things when it comes to spiritual warfare, attacks, even competition when it comes to the throne, right? And having different entities, right? So like in my case, being, knowing that I descend from original gods and goddesses on this plane, okay, in the world, right? Again, because when I look at race, I don't see it the same way. I say that there's different species and groups, different beings on this plane. But again, we are all in a certain construct where we all basically live and work together, but there are different man-made divisions of the groups, okay? So again, dealing with that on that level, and then dealing with the spiritual aspect where, we have all of us that are here, but then there's some of us that are have been put in a position where we are, I'm guessing, chosen, and we do something here on earth at this point in time to bring in something, okay? Bring something in or something to an end. So again, I spent a lot of time speaking on certain things when it comes to the construct, the way things operate on this planet, okay? Now we come to a time where we talked about psyops. We talked about, the fact that, even when it comes to the shootings, no matter, and the killings or cullings that are done, no matter if we, I've learned to look past, right? I've learned to look past the fact that regardless if these things are psyops in order to get something started, it doesn't matter. It still creates a narrative, and it still penetrates and permeates through the minds of people to look at things a certain way. So again, it may be about the life lost if that is the case, but if not, it's still about the trauma and the things that have been prolonged, because again, this trauma has been going on for a very, very, very long time. Okay, and the effects don't change. The effects that happen on the people that are targeted doesn't change. But I look at the same way when it comes to targeted individuals, when it comes to spirituality. I look at the same thing when it comes to truthers, and they come in all different shades. It is a time now where we a lot of people have stopped speaking out because it goes on deaf ears. A lot of people have stopped speaking out because they're targeted. A lot of people have stopped speaking out because they have been battling other warfare. They have been battling spiritual warfare and battling demons. Okay. So, we're in a time where there's still confusion. And I say that this is the thing. There feels like entities feel like they have defeated some of us because of the confusion that has been brought into your lives. I mean, from the point of trying to tear down your family, building you up to break you down, building you up to tear you down, and then also leave you wounded. And when you're in that kind of, when you're radiating in that type of energy, it's easy, okay, for someone to think that you have given up on the mission, but they are wrong. It's easy for somebody to think that they have taken the title or the belt, but they may possibly be wrong. It's easy because some of these entities have been here longer than you have, or they know more than you have. And so they know how to work their way into your lives to block you from your so-called blessings. Okay? So again, I'm someone that's going to stand today and say that no one can take that away from me. No one can take that away from me. And I'm always going to speak out against the system when I feel that it's necessary. I'm always going to speak out about what's wrong and what's wrong, but I want to be sure that there is not going to be any type of victimizing, because I do not deal with that type of mentality anymore. Okay? So when I look at the whole thing, I feel like everybody, is going the wrong way with it. It's like, what are we doing? What are you doing? It's almost to the point where if people still want to riot and march, like, these things are doing more damage than it does do help. These things are doing more damage than it does help. So if we are really talking about, if so-called Black lives really mattered and people felt like this was going on, then why do we continue to support certain things? Why, I'm just saying, it's like always been my main thing, the pull out of the system, come out of her as much as possible. If Black lives mattered and we are not getting the appropriate measures for our children in schools, then why are they still there? Okay. If so-called any lives mattered and we're concerned about what's going on with the food, why are we not growing? Why are we not getting together and growing food? Okay, we get together to do everything else. We get together to, a lot of times it can feel like you're defeated because you're the only one with that like-minded mentality within a 100-mile radius of your location. See, so again, I had to even look at myself the other day and say, you know what, I'm talking all this stuff, let me go ahead and start growing my vegetables, because I feel like we're coming to a time where there is going to be some type of shortage here. So again, speaking to you guys about, getting more food into the house and doing these things because these times may come. I feel like those things are more important than going out and marching. So just because nobody is talking about marching and nobody is talking about looting and rioting doesn't mean that you're not looking for a way to help people see that it's not all loss. Okay? But if we stand back and do nothing, if we stand back and we never apply the pressure to where it really hurts, then it's never going to change. It's never going to change. So again, we have a lot of activists, we have people out there, but again, I'm hearing rumors of people buying stuff from different groups or whatever, that were involved in groups and nobody got the money. Why are we still supporting those types of foundations, or whatever they would be called, corporations? There's different way. I never hear people go in those directions. It's always just emotion and anger, and nobody's really critically thinking. Okay? Where are the people that are marching? Where are the people that are marching and speaking out about the vaccine in our neighborhoods where people are taking them? Now, I haven't seen anything popped up in my neighborhood, but I'm just saying, where this is the things that I'm trying to provoke for anyone that may want to know if there's any other way for us to deal with this. Like, we still participate. We may be activists in a sense. We may be getting these other things. Prepared, but are we getting prepared mentally? Are we preparing the people in any other type of ways? Because again, the more that you go out and do these things and all this looting that I'm seeing, the more restrictions they're going to apply. So that one time when you're out there, again, certain areas, like I told you guys before, already have it in place where they can actually assassinate rioters. So again, it's a battle. It's a battle, and it's going to get harder and harder for us to go this route, because we are dealing with spiritual warfare as well. Those are things that are unseen. Those are, again, we're being activists about certain things, but again, you'll have people cry out for help. You'll have people cry out for help because of spiritual battles and other struggles that they're going on, that are going on in their life, and no one will extend a hand out. No one will extend, and it doesn't matter how involved or if you're not involved, if you don't have anything that people think is beneficial to them, then they will turn the cheek. They will turn the cheek because they feel it's not beneficial to them. But actually, all in all, these are the things that are going to help us in the end. Is extending a hand out to, if we can't even unite on that level, if we can't even unite on that level to extend a hand out to a brother or a sister that may be struggling with something, someone that you may have even been able to benefit from information that they've passed on, then there's nothing. Because I tell you what, for me, I try to keep the peace with everybody, but if me being peaceful and speaking to you with respect is not enough, then I'm not the one. I'm not the one that's going to grovel on my knees and beg anybody for a damn thing. I'll tell you that. So the only thing that I think that we can do is come out. Is come out mentally, emotionally, and physically of this construct as much as you can. As much as you can, because things are going to get worse. The things that they're going to be doing with the algorithms and with the restrictions and all these things is just going to get worse. I just feel like there's just a shift that's happening right now. There's a shift that's happening right now, and it's going to get a lot worse if we don't start paying attention to the things, the deeper, if we don't go to the root of things. If we don't go to the root of things, it is just going to get a lot deeper. Again, I try not to pay too much attention to what the media is saying, but again, it's a struggle for me. It's a struggle because I get so infuriated, when I see some of this stuff that's a joke. It's a joke, and we should take it as that. And we shouldn't support these type of outlets anymore because of the bull, the bull that they try to pass off as ways of manipulating the people or inciting certain behaviors. And every time they're doing this is a test to see. This is a test to see how asleep you really still are. It's a test to see how asleep you really still are. Okay? That's how I see it at the end of the day. And of course, it hurts. It hurts to see. Because like I said, regardless if somebody is being hurt or not in these incidents, it still affects the people. It still affects our children. It still affects the people as a whole. It still hurts to see that they're portraying this way, and you feel like no one else cares. It feels like our own people don't care. There was a shooting or something that happened not too far from my house. I think 3 people, my daughter said. Where is the riot and where is the insight when it comes to that? When it comes to the fact that 3 brown boys, I believe, were murdered just recently. But see, people ain't gonna riot about that. They're only gonna do it because the media told them to do it when it comes to one of these maybe so-called possibly psyops, or someone actually could have lost their lives. But again, we're talking about regardless of the fact, when people see this, most people are going to believe that that's exactly what happened. Most people will believe that that's what happened. Right? So that's going to affect them in that way. Most people that's thinking with emotion instead of going a little bit deeper. Right? So again, I just wanted to speak on that. Just because, you hear a lot about, nobody speaking on it. Just because nobody's speaking in the way that people want to speak doesn't mean that we're not concerned about it. Doesn't mean that we're not trying to figure things out. It doesn't mean that people are not going through struggles of their own. It doesn't mean that every day, again, when it comes to me, I can't say about everybody, but when it comes to me, every day I'm thinking how, why. But then you have your own, wars. We have to battles we have to fight in our own home, especially when you let certain energy in that you feel is for you, but actually all in all, it may have been against you or hoping for your downfall. Hoping for your downfall. And I'm saying some of us can see in layers. We can see a lot deeper. So we're dealing with entities that is not even only unseen, but that you can see. Or you feel like their presence is still here on this plane. I wouldn't know for sure, but people that, you think are brothers and sisters, And again, for me, I'm someone that has an open heart, a big heart. So again, and lots of times I'll get taken advantage of, and people think that they have the advantage, but I still have a sense of knowing that the energy and the presence that I felt here, that I feel like there's a shift, that it might be going away, would not leave me without being weaponized or being able to stand. Wouldn't leave me broken, knowing as much work as I've been putting in and knowing my heart. Just, that's where I'm at. That's where I'm at. And knowing that it may be because of other energies that I've been battling, other things that I've battled. And some things I may have let in on my own, and other things that I didn't. But I'm still a fighter. I'm still a warrior, no matter what. At the end of the day, the only thing, I may have been confused. I may have been frustrated. I may have been upset. I may have cried. But at the end of the day, I ain't afraid. I ain't afraid somebody fuck with my family. I'm a warrior. I'm a warrior. And it ain't nothing on this plane, nothing material, nothing that nobody can take from me and make it so that I wouldn't be able to survive. Only thing you can take from me is my motherfucking life at the end of the day. So, we'll see. It just hurts because, when you let certain energies or people in, and, all along you had your reservations, you're trying to figure it out. But all this time you was wasting time. You was wasting time, and the enemy was just waiting. Just waiting. And I won't even say the enemy. I'll say that then you're left with the disappointment that you feel from your soul tribe. But again, at the end of the day, they know you too. They know you too. And they know. And they know what they did, and they know what you did. So if that's the way it is, then hey, what can I do about it? Then it wasn't for me in the first place, right? So I doubt that. I doubt that. So yeah, I'm just rambling. I know I'm all over the place. I'm all over the place. I'm sitting here at the park just chilling. But, I just wanted to speak on it. I just wanted to speak on and just how I'm thinking about this whole situation. And how they only, if it just seems like the lives only matter, whether we're talking about so-called black lives or all lives, they only matter when media or somebody else tells us that they do. They don't really matter any other time. They don't really matter when someone needs a handout. They matter for show. Small things like a couple dollars to somebody that's homeless or buying somebody some food or something. We have to do better. We just have to do better. And unity is key. Unity is, if we're going to have all these people coming into the community, some that look like us, or most that look like us, that you feel is for us, how are you going to be for us if you want to create division, more division? If you still want to do the same shady things that people was doing to people back in the day. And again, we want to blame one group of people for doing it when most of the time we're doing it to our damn self. We're doing it to ourselves over petty differences and things like that. So again, if that's what something that I would have to be a part of with people, then It just wouldn't, you know. I'm an open person. I don't hold grudges against people. I'm willing to work with people. I'm willing to take something on if someone gave it to me, or if someone was serious in my local area. I'm willing to rally with people in my local area if it's necessary, like-minded people. But it's hard to find that. It's hard to find that. And so sometimes it'll feel like you're on like a deserted island. But I'll just keep reaching out and start reaching out to people that are more like-minded online. That's what I'll do. And just hope that, you know, at this point in time, I feel like it's either desert or disaster. Really, really. I just feel a shift. I feel a shift coming on. So anyways, I want to thank you guys for watching and take care.